Right, shall we go straight into the agenda? I think, Mark, do you want to go first with a about the Britain update? Because there's obviously been a bit of movement, and you guys have worked really hard on that.
Is Lewis there, Mr. Crane?
I am here.
Do you want to talk or do you want to...
I'll let you, because I've forgotten the date that you said.
Well, I've got two at the moment I'm exploring the possibilities of. One is I think it's the 23rd, 24th of June, and the other was the second week in July, so I think that's 7th, 8th, or sometime around that. Anyway, second week in July or last weekend in June are the two choices at the moment, so if anyone's got any preference, say now. Otherwise, I'll just base it around my social life.
Last weekend in June, I think, is GC. Just let me check. Yeah, last week, 30th of June, 2nd July is E3, so that's a no for me.
Oh, well, okay. Yeah, last weekend in June is the 24th to 25th.
Yeah, I'm no good on that one because it's Minion's birthday and I have to do things, apparently.
You have to be a dad.
Okay.
Yeah.
Shame. Okay. Okay, 8th, 9th of July.
Yeah, we could do that.
I've got nothing this end, which just makes it easier because then I can pick up Mike on my way through and that
Cool.
saves everybody money.
Can we go for that one then?
Yeah, 8th and 9th of July. Woo!
Right, lovely. I'll, in that case, what I'll do is I'll take all the bits and pieces we've got on the forum and various emails that Lewis and I have exchanged, and I'll put it all together in one big post, and we'll go from there.
Yay!
Yeah, that'd be really
Okay.
good. A nice tidy post would be great. That'd be awesome. And then
Yeah.
then we'll have a look at the cross posting. Whatever you guys think's good with cross posting. If you want to keep it to the forum only, keep it to the forum only. If you need any help on anything, shout, and then we can start looking at getting the resources in place to back it all.
Yeah, I mean, I don't think. Well, we'd like kind of on the ground wise. I think we can sort out what we need there. We don't need an awful lot of things actually on the site. What we really need is sort of other game organisers or people who are prepared to help out with kind of a couple of games or a couple of hours of games each, just to make give us some content. Really,
I thought the idea of a game organiser taking on a game each was pretty.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that'd be
Mike, would you like?
that'd be great if we could all do that.
Would you like to collaborate, Mike, and we'll produce a long game?
Ooh,
Like an hour.
couldn't we? Yeah, we could
Yeah,
do
and if you and I pool resources, then other people can run quick games, and we'll run one long game on the Saturday, and we'll use that with some of the other stuff we talked about. I'll have a chat about it, and then we'll run it by. I'll run it by Brain and OMN.
Yeah,
That'd be quite nice if you want to surprise us. That'd be brilliant.
Yeah, that's okay. But obviously, you want to make sure that we're not going to tread on any other group's toes, because I think it's a really good opportunity for each kind of game organizer to kind of bring something, because everyone has their games that they've developed from other standard games that now work really well at their events that they really enjoy. And the skate park lockdown has become a big thing at the skate park, and there's kind of you've all got those little variations.
It's
and those
freeze
special
tag,
sparkles
whatever he says.
Yeah, and there's special
Freeze
sparkles, all of those other things that have been developed that I think other people would really like to play. So that's a good idea.
Well, should we do it in a similar vein to the mod swap then? Do you want to just kind of coordinate it with me and Lewis?
Yeah, that'd be
we'll
ideal.
know what's happening.
Yeah.
And everyone else can be surprised when they turn up.
I think probably if we think about running, I think realistically most of us are going to manage to play a maximum of 4 games in a day. Given the size of the site, and obviously for some of those games we'll want to make the play area smaller deliberately to make it more interesting. And we might not want to use the whole play area for all of the games, which I think is a really good idea. And it means that if
dart sweeps are... Yeah, keep going. Sorry, Tom.
No, sorry. No, that was my next point, was that dart sweeps are easier and faster in a contained space. And also we can play to the strengths of each bit of the site, because there's kind of, each field's got a little bit of something different going on, and we might as well play to those things.
So do you want us to give I suppose Lewis would be better at providing us if we give kind of a breakdown of the different areas, and we can think about
Lewis, you've played on that site and you've airsofted
Too much, yep.
If you tell us what each space is good for, then it'll give some of the guys that are going to have to block games an idea.
Yeah, I'll come up with a kind of a basic plan of what's good for what.
I mean, walk us through it. Walk us through it while we're here. If you're coming from the car park, you've got those different fields. What's in each one, and what's the height of the bushes and cover and stuff at?
I'll tell you what, if I've got that picture It's got the numbers on everything.
Yeah, well, that would definitely go in the post. But yeah, if we could.
Now, we've obviously got North versus South to fit in there.
We can
At
take
some
that
point.
one, Tom.
Would you like us to plan North versus South and plan it as a long game?
Okay, that'd be nice. Yeah.
And obviously, we'll give you guys, the minute we've got the outline of how it's going to work, we'll give you guys it so that it's a fair and level playing field and everyone has the outline of everything that's going to happen so that people don't get, so that you guys can plan. But you don't necessarily have to tell your squads everything. And obviously, it might be a bit of room for negotiating there with what we tell our squads, because it might be quite fun for those people who have just landed on the site to kind of have to deal with the mission as it crops up. Do you know what I mean?
Yeah, I can go with that.
And then only key people have the whole overview.
I think as well, I think I would opt to... Sorry, if I'm reverbing. No, okay, I'm fine.
That's a little bit of it.
Yeah, I'm trying to keep the minutes of some recording, so it's a pain in the ass. If we have the long game, I will quite happily referee that so as to not do what I do.
Okay.
I mean, the other option is that we could have a mutually agreed referee from somebody fairly neutral for North versus South, if that's a thing as well. I'm happy to do something with that. What we could do is we could have one referee from North and one referee from South, and that would give us two.
That would maximise the impartiality, I think. Yeah.
I would volunteer for South.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, that's going to be a bit of a bastard then, isn't it? Because it means I can't be lazy and give tactical commands to somebody else and just hang around and shoot people.
No, because that's exactly why I'm not. Because I'll take tactical command and I'll start yelling orders at people. And
yeah, exactly. That was my complete plan.
Especially since what?
Anything.
The event is what? When did we decide it was?
July.
Second weekend in July.
8th and 9th, yeah?
7th, whatever that is. Yeah, about then, yeah.
Yeah, okay. So I would have come off the GC site on the 2nd. Yeah.
So as the Danish component is the Dane law, therefore you are automatically North. I'm sorry. You didn't take Beyond Mercia, therefore you stay North.
That's fair enough.
Mr. Crane, would you like to walk us through the site?
Whilst the picture's there, obviously the one area we're going to be using for camping. Probably the best bet. 2 has a kind of, you can kind of see the wandering path that goes down. That's got stands which are used for clay pigeon shooting. They're just kind of wooden things you stand at, but they're quite good because they're numbered. So what I would tend to do is use it as kind of a fallback game. So you have one life for each, and you keep getting knocked back by the attackers. And then when you reach the end, you kind of maybe, I don't know, swap sides and see who can do it the fastest, sort of thing, or go back the other way. That's quite good. There's a lot of that might be quite overgrown. I mean, I'm going to go down with tools and such to try and clean up as much of the shrubberies as I can. The 3 area is a small, I say small, it's like a kind of metre higher than everywhere else, but it's quite defined hill with a ring of trees all the way around the outside, and that makes quite a good confined area for kind of trouble in terrorist town or zombies or whatever.
You'd use that on King of the Hill.
Yeah, it's got approaches small angles as well. So
2 respawn points in 2 area. The King of the Hill at the top of 3, and go at it.
Yeah, 5 will be. I'll skip 4, but no, 5's a kind of grassy. It's like a lawn, basically. So I mean, we can use that for kind of anything speedball sort of style. Set up barricades. Would be good for games for younger people, should there be any. 4 could be anything. It depends entirely on what the owner's done with it on the date. Sometimes he lets it grow, sometimes cuts it down and it's usable. So it's kind of I'll see what I can do about that. And then obviously 6 is car park. 7 we can use if we want. It's just a big gravelled area under the viaduct with big concrete pillars that we could set something up should we want to.
Or use it for overflow parking.
Yep.
Okay, that's fine. There's lots we can do with that then.
All good. Yeah.
Yeah. I think it was Blind Geek. I don't think he's on, is he? But he mentioned there's a if you look you can see the ship canal. There is a public footpath that runs in between the stream and the ship canal. It's not a problem. It's massively raised up. But I thought I'd mention that.
Yeah,
Well, if you're firing shotguns and airsoft on there, I think we'll be okay with a few
Nerf. I think our little baby toys will be okay.
Yeah.
Well done.
Awesome. Okay.
And there will be an event chrono of some description there. There usually is.
That'll probably be down in field 1 because it'll be down with the tents and shit. So
yeah, and we've already got generators sorted, haven't we? We've got 2 possible generators at the moment.
Yeah, plus whatever leisure batteries and bits and pieces I can get a hold of. So
okay, ideal. And then it depends on which van I have as to how much swag I have with mine. If I've got the nice van, that's got everything on it.
Are there enough trees for me to sling a hammock in field 1?
No.
Oh shit! I'm gonna have to sleep in a tent like a peasant.
More than welcome to drive some big wooden posts into the floor, but
fuck that. So,
no, you can have
sleep in the middle of the play area.
No, you can have a nice night under the motorway viaduct between 2 concrete pillars, like a tramp. You'll love it.
You'll get away from your snoring.
That's right. That's why I have a van, baby.
So if it rains, that's probably not a bad option either.
Yeah.
I don't think it's gonna be that. It's not supposed to be that noisy under there.
It's surprisingly not. Most of the noise goes over the top and gets the surrounding areas, but where the shoot is kind of actually fairly quiet, surprisingly.
I sleep like the dead anyway. It's fine.
There we go.
And to be fair, I think we're all going to be pretty ballsed after running around a massive field for an entire day.
Yeah, I am not going to be at my peak for this because I'm a week after a GC event. And it's just going to be like...
Does anybody have any questions about Battle of Britain whilst the organisers of Battle of Britain are here?
Did we decide on younglings and age limits and access to sort of public advertising, etc., etc., etc.?
Okay. Yeah, we've talked about it. Basically, we figured that if parents are going to bring children, then they are 100% responsible for them 100% of the time.
Yep.
Obviously, we have a known or a potentially higher blaster FPS limit than we usually play our games that they need to be conscious of. And I just realised I've just put my Apollo back together wrong.
Everybody does that, don't worry.
Yeah, it's looking good though.
For an Apollo.
But then let's just think about kids. I mean, really, we want to sort of obviously discourage as in a friendly way as possible people bringing really young children on. I mean, obviously, my son is 14. I don't know how old Minion is or anyone else's children, but he's more than capable of surviving for a weekend in a field playing Nerf.
Yep.
But I wouldn't bring got younger children now. I won't be bringing them along, and that's my kind of barometer of where we're at with it. We're going to phrase that in a way which explains the situation to everybody.
Yeah, that's fine.
I mean, I don't mind. We can exclude them. We can have a 13+ age limit.
I think if you, I mean, the decision is ultimately your guys because it's your site, your event, functionally.
Yeah.
But I think it's a case of parents. If you're bringing under 16s, then they need to be participating and understanding.
Absolutely,
This is Daddy's game, and you're allowed to play. Because
I agree.
Yeah.
There's no room for spectators on site, should we say?
No, Nerf like LARP is not a spectator sport.
No. Agreed. I can't remember. I've phrased it in a slightly more
diplomatic,
user-friendly, diplomatic way in my post that I put on the forum. But that will be our take on it.
Cool. Tom.
Yeah.
I'll talk to Kev about reputable brands of smokes and bits and pieces.
Yeah, generally the Enola Gay ones are pretty good. They're cheap and they're fairly reliable, and all the smoke grenades that they do are cool burn. I am considering, due to some people have sensitivities around loud noise, if they have ASD or other things, and potential issues. I know it's a shooting site, but I'm considering talking to them about no flashbang, but I was going to ask his opinion because he's the professional on that one.
Yeah. I mean,
now,
definitely smokes, but flashes are up to people.
Yeah.
I think.
Mr. Crane, if you use pyro on that site.
Yeah, plenty of times.
Yeah. Okay. I was just going to check
That's
that
a man
wasn't a
who's looking
problem.
forward to this.
That's why it goes.
I didn't imagine it would be much of an issue. Potentially, what will happen with that is that there'll be an issue of pyro, and then the pyro itself will be kept in a central magazine.
Yeah.
That way, it just stops it being in people's hands at drinking time.
Yeah.
Yeah, fair enough.
I don't know where you'd get hold of them, but nothing louder than a Mark 9.
Yeah, don't worry. We'll be buying commercial grade stuff because there's no point in having other stuff, you know.
I mean, I just most want to play with the smoke.
You're just going to be like Lance on the front of the boat in Apocalypse Now with a purple smoke while he's taking acid. Just going to be like, look at the pretty smoke, look at the pretty smoke.
Pretty much. I haven't used smoke bombs since I made them when I was a kid.
I was going to post about drinking on the site, but I wasn't going to mention dropping any tabs while you're there. But you know, each three.
Yeah, exactly. Nerf on acid, that could be an experience.
That could be an
It's the new fad.
I had not considered that.
we should,
New from
put it on
Britnerf
Reddit.
UK.
And see how many
Acid
people, yeah, we could put it on Reddit and see how many people end up in the psych ward. Quick, a bandwagon!
Oh, God.
But yeah, I think
Awesome.
that probably maintaining that as an event pool, and so we say nobody brings their own pyro, the event will supply pyro, and then we actually figure that into the cost. How do you feel about that?
Perfect.
Yeah.
Because then Kev can give us a recommended supplier, and then we're working with stuff that we know is good, and then I've got a proper. I'll bring my magazine with me because obviously I own a magazine. One of those things every man should have. I will bring my powder magazine with me, and that will be used to store the stuff, and then we can keep it locked up.
Yep, that'd be appreciated. Yeah.
That sounds sensible.
And then that way round, if only Kev has a key. I know that sounds like a very bad idea, but he's the professionally qualified person unless we have other pyrotechnicians on site.
Well, the thing is, though, I know that Kev likes a drink. However, I'm completely teetotal, so.
Yes, but then on the flip side, if we can give you the key if you prefer.
I honestly, because I know for a fact that when I'm away from the flat, I don't drink. So.
Yeah, but I'm not sure that Kev will be. I don't think Kev will be the sort of. He's not the sort of drinker that will feel the need to experiment with smoke grenades in people's.
He's a professional pyrotechnician. They run on two things: black powder and alcohol.
Yeah, that's true. That's actually probably a very good idea to not give Kev the key. Yes, I've worked with one or two pyros in my time, and it's very true. There's a reason they do what they do.
Nuts as fuck.
Yeah.
Cool.
So, any more questions about BOB? No. The other thing I was thinking about with that, you see, is if we issue smoke as the event, it means that one side or the other won't have an advantage then in teams where teams will have...
I was just going to fill in like a whole wall with smoke bombs. And just
see, I think like Mike. So if you think like Mike, he will immediately meta the shit out of anything. If you then think, okay, if you only have a limited supply of smoke, first of all, that means you'll think twice about how you use it. So you won't just throw a wall of it and then advance behind the wall of it. You'll use it for key things. And also, I kind of think that those limited resources, they make it more fun.
Make the game,
yeah. If it's just you can always use it, it ceases to be interesting. I would also suggest that if we release the dimensions of the smoke grenades and their limitations, it may be amusing to come up with one launcher per side.
Okay.
Because the striker ones, I reckon you could probably fire out of one of those dog ball launchers, which would then give you a little bit more range on your smoke, which could be a lot of fun.
Yeah, no, I like that idea.
Because the ripcord ones, if you get slow smoke, they're a bit better. They'll leave a trail, but the fast ones are fairly fast. So it could be interesting to do that. So we might then have one option for each team for a launcher. But again, I'll discuss that with Kevin, see what he says.
This is Southern Fairy 1 to Southern Fairy 2. Fire mission, smoke over.
That's going to be awesome. We can have a platoon mortar, Mike, for each team. How amazing is that?
Southern Ferry actual target is
exactly adjust by 200 meters and fire for effect. I mean, what more could you want? RT support. I mean, it's like a wet dream, isn't it? Really, for Milsimmers everywhere.
It's getting to airsoft with foam darts at this rate.
Exactly.
Let's give it a go. Let's give it a go. What can go wrong?
Exactly. Precisely.
Quick question. Where's the nearest hospital?
Just
specifically
down the
where
road.
the-
Warrington General.
Yeah, you're not far.
15 minutes.
Nice.
Not too bad then.
That's okay. Because I mean, like, I've obviously done a lot of reenactment stuff, and I've done a lot of stuff with black powder. And if you can safely shoot at people with black powder, we should be fine with a few cool burn smoke grenades, even given them aggregate intelligence of our community. We should be fine.
We should be all right.
So I think I think that's going to be worth a try, and we've not done anything like that since. I think there'll be some good opportunity for some filming, and if it's wet, we've got that space underneath the motorway.
We don't want to be setting off smokes on.
That's probably a leak. Yeah.
Yeah, maybe give it a miss under there for the smoke.
Well, for pyro, yeah, obviously, but for everything else, that would be fine if we needed space. Yeah, I know it's not a great surface to play on, but
no, it really isn't.
Okay, I think we can jump on from Battle of Britain if anyone's got anything else to add.
No, it's fine by me.
Brilliant. Well, I want to say thank you on behalf of the community for doing the hard work, because it is hard work. I know that it doesn't it's not one of those things that everybody wants to get involved in, but I appreciate your help with that. As done a sterling job, because we've kind of taken our foot off the gas a little bit with Britnerf Limited, and I think Mike and I are the first put our hands up. Mike's had lots of work to do, which is kind of understandable because you keep buying things from him. And Kev has been working. And Mike's got his own events, and Kev has been working a trade show all last week, so he's been very busy.
Getting drunk and blowing up things.
Yeah, exactly. But somebody's got to do it. It's one of those dirty jobs, isn't it? So obviously there's been a few stalls, and I think probably the best thing to describe at the moment, Britnerf Limited, is not organised at all. That's probably a pretty fair one.
Well, I know exactly where we need to go. I just need to find a weekend where I can sit down and do the paperwork.
Yeah, we've got two options, basically, you guys. We've got either a limited company, which requires accounts to be produced every year, which means we have to pay somebody to do our accounts to register them, or we have to find somebody who'll do them for free, which can be doable, but it revolves around.
I'll talk to Kev. I'll talk to Kev on Sunday about it.
Yeah, we're going to have a chat about it on Sunday at Tech Day when we get a minute, if we get a minute. And then the other option would be to have something like a community interest group, where it's essentially.
We can deal with this on Sunday. That's fine. I think Neil wanted to interject about Battle of Britain.
Yeah, go.
Yep. So I joined the call slightly late. Did you agree Portaloos and all that kind of nonsense?
Yes, that was going to be included in whatever fee or OMN and Mr. Crane come up with.
Yeah.
That's fine. I was just going to say, echoing, I can't make the new date. I'll be in America, probably standing in Target buying Rivals. But if FTT will put some money into this, so just once you've broken it all down, just let me know.
Thank you for that. That's really appreciated. Yeah, and awesome. Yeah, that would be ideal. And we're hoping to try and make it to a point where it's not massively expensive, but obviously Portaloo prices can go up as well as down.
Yeah, just whatever. Just let me know.
Just like the contents.
Just hope not.
Thanks, Tom.
I'm debating whether to bring my private Portaloo with me or not, but that may be going a little bit too much.
Everyone should just bring their own
Bring a
bucket.
trowel. You'll be fine.
I've got a servant and a shovel.
I could bring the regiment with me, I guess. I could use them.
But your Pioneer Corps.
Well, I've got a couple of scouts, I guess. No, it's fine.
Okay, and so thank you for that, FTT. That's brilliant. Sorry, I didn't read that on the text because mine had shut down. So I appreciate that. If we can jump into events for the next bit, is Davidoff in or not? No.
We don't have a Davidoff. Do we have anybody from Davidoff Saturday Skirmish that was there? And did it happen? Or are we all seeing things on the internet that aren't true? Guess we're all seeing things that are on the internet that aren't true. Okay.
Yep.
Next event.
It's all a myth.
Fake news.
Well, we can go straight to FDT and the crew for the Leeds skate park update.
Okay, I'll leave that to Old Man Nerf to start with.
No, see, I've got to do gun, haven't I? So
Yeah.
That's
Slip
fair.
and roll. Come on. Yeah.
Yeah. So
I
Rab's
can't do everything.
I tell you what, Rab's on.
Oh, you're good at passing the buck here, Neil.
It's not
First
possible
rule of
about
management.
delegation.
They don't.
Yeah, no, cool.
They don't understand me.
Well, they'll have good luck with me. No, yeah, we were down at Leeds. Spot on, great venue, really, to be honest. Quite different skate park from the ones we're used to. Quite a long corridor effect. It makes it like non-stop, wall-to-wall action.
Yeah, I was really impressed. It's the other two skate parks we have on the go are big, massive square spaces. That, as you say, is more of a long corridor. I found it was more focused battles going on because they had nowhere else to go. They had to face each other. There was none of this running around the periphery type stuff. It was very, very good.
It did work very well. It was a good evening, wasn't it?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to coming down maybe the next couple of months and just taking part and seeing it from the other side.
Yeah,
bring a little squad down.
Nice.
But yeah, it should be good.
And how did the marksman balcony work out?
Say again, sorry.
How did the balcony work out at that event?
Yeah, so we decided when we were looking at it, the parents all gravitated up there right away, and I thought, you know what, it is a perfect spot for them to stay up there, nice and safe out of the way. So we didn't put anybody up there, but I think Tom and Mark are going to chat about that going forward.
But it's quite good to have parents being able to see the whole event in some ways, isn't it, as well?
It's brilliant because they were totally safe up there. I told all the kids, no one shoots upstairs, that's a safe zone for the parents, and nobody shot up there, so it worked fine, yeah.
Sorry, Kevin's just...
What do you think, Rob?
Yeah, the balcony was excellent because it gave them field of view on both sides. Even when we do it at another skate park, they're all at one side or all at one corner. But no, they were right in the mix of it. So and the battles came from both sides, so they're more or less fighting underneath them all the time. Yeah, it was really good.
I'm going to put together a sort of longer than average war video. I do have lots of footage. And no, not all of it will include Mr. Crane, so don't worry. If you've seen the promo for the second Leeds event, you'll know what I'm talking about. But no, it's a great venue. Like I say, I'll put a 3-minute video together. I haven't done one properly for a while because I've been so busy. But so it's onwards and upwards for Leeds. I think it's going to be really good there. They are taking out some of the skate park. They've got this crazy old bowl that looks like a Californian swimming pool kind of thing at the top end of it, and they're getting rid of that. So after the 1st of April, we're in there the 1st. I think on the 3rd they start ripping it out, so it's going to change, which is quite good because it is the sort of oldest thing in there. But awesome venue. Can't wait to go back.
Old Man Nerf, if you can turn your mic sensitivity down, that would be good. Because then we won't hear you putting your Apollo back together.
Sorry.
All right. Well, I'm glad to hear that was a success because it's always a bit of a gamble, isn't it, with a new venue? But it's interesting how it changes the gameplay.
It honestly, Tom, I was jealous. It looked so much fun because they had nowhere to go. They had to face off in the games like.
Well, my son described it as. Yeah, sorry. So my son described it as kind of intense trench warfare. Kind of push forwards, fighting over a bit of ground. Then the other team comes back and it's back and forth the whole night.
Yeah, and the other two venues that we have just now, it's so much more open. You put, like, for domination, you put the timer in the middle of the room and they have to get to it. With this one, it was sort of more halfway down the room and the teams were coming at each other, pushing each other back. And it was totally different. And Rab and I were so impressed.
I can't wait for a shot down there. Springers are going to. I usually like springers, but you're going to be, if it's pump action, so your arm's going to be killing you by the end of the night. You never fire so many shots. So I need to get a flywheel set for that.
Yeah, I was really. It's the first time I've seen rivals up close. Mr. Crane and Jay had them, and I was blown away. I was so impressed by them. So when I come back from the States, I should have quite a few under our arms. But if I ever get to join in a war, that is. But no, it was really good, and I guess can't say too much. But breaking news is I have a 4th skate park agreed, so there will be 4 skate parks by the end of this year.
No, brilliant.
Find time.
What was that?
How are you going to find time?
He spends less time brushing his hair.
Thank you, Kev. It's getting a bit more serious now. I have to think about what we're going to do going forward, but I'm determined not to stop this because I'm enjoying the hell out of it. So yeah, four skate parks. I'm going to try and get a fifth one by the end of the year.
That'd be really good. I think.
And I'll let you know.
Overall, it's got to be good for the game as a whole because those are good venues and they're usable by kids and adults. So they're nicely enclosed. They're easy to recover darts from, and they're not murderously expensive. And they've got quite a lot of options, haven't they?
The good thing is, the more skate parks I get under my belt, the easier it is to get new ones because they're like, oh, you've got 4 skate parks going already. Oh, it must be fine then, So
yeah, definitely.
We'll wait and see. I don't want to open this chat up to anything else regarding FTT and commercial shit, but I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying it, and it's not going anywhere, and we're just going to push it on and make it as big as we can.
I think
That's it.
Okay, well we go to Gun now because obviously you just had your event.
Yeah. Well, I was going to say TBR's on, isn't he? Does he want to comment as a participant or Mr. Crane? Yeah. No, it was good fun. Had a good afternoon. What do we get? About 50 people in total turn up again. Nice. Lots of.
Nice, that's good.
The younger games was actually probably the better half in some respects. Everyone was up for it and had a good run around. Had some really long battles where neither team could dominate, particularly over the terrain or win the game outright. So, good, lots of action.
And the weather was quite cold, wasn't it? The weather was not bad at all.
Yeah, it was shorts weather, really. I think, say in the second half of the day where we're trying to do the 15+ games, I think we're all kind of wilting from the heat a bit. We kind of hadn't adjusted after the winter to the sudden rise in temperatures. So, yeah, we need to get our shorts on next time.
That was good. I'm glad to see it's still going from strength to strength and picking up. Obviously, we've left you hanging a little bit with insurance because I know you guys were keen to have your own policy. But as long as the church is still happy for you to being, you're covered by their liability at the moment, so you're protected. But obviously, it limits your expansion into other venues or doing other things. So, we do get that, and we're trying to push forward with that.
We're on it.
Yeah, I think from their perspective, they would just appreciate, I suppose, the clarity. If we had our own policy. They're super
definitely
protected then, aren't they, in some respects?
Yeah.
So,
I mean, essentially, their policy should cover them for any activities run by the church, and it may be worth having a chat with the elders who are in charge, whichever elders are in charge of the kind of nuts and bolts running of the church, and maybe get them to figure out their policy and just find out whether it covers, because they've got sports halls there, and it may be sports activities, and Nerf is one of those things that you can extend a little bit, but it may be worth talking to their insurers in the short term if they're anxious. If they're not anxious, then they must be aware what the limit of their cover is.
Well, maybe that, I don't know, maybe they've just made assumptions about what we're doing and what we've got, so I wouldn't...
Yeah, okay, so you've got to watch out for those sometimes because you don't want to end up in a grey area.
No,
we'll
not really.
Get it as quick as we can.
Okay, because the policy will be the first thing that we buy, I guarantee you that, because it's the first thing that we actually need in order to start generating, first of all, some money coming back, so that we can work out a sensible way of covering our policy every year, and secondly, because we all need it.
Yeah, okay, that's fine. We can... Yeah, we'll see what we need to do in the next couple of months, but yeah.
Because of the sort of esoteric structure. And Rab, we have reviewed your post. We're discussing it. We're going to talk about it in the next 24 hours, and we will get back to you about your post that you were talking to us about. And some of
that's
that
totally
stuff,
cool, mate. Yeah, that's no worries.
And a lot of that may well be also a sort of thing that we want to incorporate into the kind of deal with the Britnerf Limited thing, where there'll be some good stuff around some of that risk assessment and some of those other bits and pieces that we can incorporate into the player manuals and the game manuals and all that stuff.
Yep.
Because we've also got to investigate the situation. My employer says that we can't post risk assessments. We can only post a blank framework, because if we post a risk assessment and somebody uses it and they don't, it doesn't encourage them to actively risk assess their venue.
This is a problem we've had in the past, and there's actually the liability can actually come back on you as the person who wrote the risk assessment as well, which is
right.
Yeah, ones we use, just on a side note here, ones we use, it's always got a space for risk assessment on the day, because you can't risk assess something in advance. You need to know local conditions, types of players, stuff like that. So I always have a kind of box in the bottom that's partially greyed out, but it does have text in there saying for your risk assessment on the day. So yeah, you can look at venue, flooring, whatever, all stuff. So we could do something that we could put a guideline on the side, but people could pick and choose out of that. But still, yeah, I definitely have to do your risk assessment when you turn up at the venue.
Yeah, that's a good idea. Because you see, obviously, I work within the same as you in an environment where risk assessment is done all the time. We have to do it, and we had a section on our briefing before every session where we'd look at any additionals that weren't covered. Dynamic day-to-day stuff is something that's very easy to forget. I know one of the things that Mike and I often do is we'll walk a venue before the venue starts and we'll have a look round. And then
do that.
Yeah, and we go and have, first of all, it's good from a tactical perspective, and second of all, we'll go and look for those additional hazards, and then we'll discuss them as we go along. And that, I think, is one of those things that we want to get into Britnerf, is how to do it, not actually a kind of physical filled out.
Definitely. Yeah, you just want to give them the... Oh, sorry, go for it. You just want to give them the techniques to how to do their own risk assessment. So I suppose you could put up this is a template we've used, but use it for something that they can't then transfer it to, but it gives them the idea of what they should be looking at. Yeah,
you can do a blank template. We've been successful with a blank template where we've published one. We just have to, whatever we do in terms of setting up the parent organisation, all we do is run it by the lawyers, and then if they then we'll stick it out there. But definitely that box is a good idea. So thank you very much for that. It's on the cards and on the list. Other games, do we have?
I was going to say, I got a blank template from the Health and Safety Executive government website that seemed pretty comprehensive.
Right. Well, that might be a very good.
Just use that one as a starting point.
Yeah, that might be a very good way of linking a blank template then, because that way you can leave it with the HSE, and then if they whine, then they just go, "Well, it's the HSE one," and also they update the link, don't they? That stops links going dead. Well, we've got Kev here. Kev, did you do Davidoff's this week?
I didn't make it over there, but I had quite a full brief from it, and it apparently went well.
Yeah, they haven't actually got anybody.
Yeah, they had, I think it was 22 players, which is the most they've had. And he tried out a load of new games, and they kind of worked. Because the interesting thing that Davidoff does at his games is he tries to incorporate a small LARP element into the games. So the games are generally tactically a little bit more sort of interesting, a little bit more in depth.
Okay.
That'd
be interesting. Do we know if there's anybody with cameras or anything? Because it would be nice to be able to see people's raw footage to see how.
I believe there was. There's usually a couple with cameras, so we'll have to see what happens when they get around to editing it.
I just want the raw footage.
You'll have to ask them. I don't know.
Yeah, that's fine. Okay, cool. I'll be interested to see. One thing I wanted to ask about Davidoff, just as a general question for the floor, his post on the forum, apologies for the reverb, about the portable sort of side cage type deal. I can't help but think that's not conducive to running an event. Sort of like, when you're between rounds, your normal wars like Bristol Blast and stuff, you are focused on reloading, getting people into position, explaining the rules for the next game, getting them focused onto the main game. Having like a side thing only seems to be a distraction. Am I talking out my arse?
I understand. Yeah, I get it as well, but I don't think he didn't really explain why he wanted it, to be honest. So I wonder if it's a reaction to something that happened on Saturday that he's just trying to think through. I don't know.
Because it does strike me as... I'm not too worried about the exclusionary aspect. There are always people that we just want to bugger off. We're only human after all. But it's the distraction from the main event, the main game.
Well, it's not only that, but in setting up some sort of semi-permanent structure in a public park is a big no-no. As soon as you start getting out a massive inflatable, then the park wardens are beyond on rice.
Yeah, Parky will be right out there, won't he?
Yeah, we had a picnic once, and I got told off because I pegged down the picnic blanket. So I think if you had a big inflatable area, I don't think they'd like that.
Get a bouncy castle license for it.
Bouncy castle license.
Yeah, there are for Bristol City Council. You used to be able to get like a license to fence off an area and put up a bouncy castle in Bristol's public parks.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they do them anymore.
That's probably because nobody actually bothered.
Well, I can beat you all because I was running an event and I had a subcontractor come in and deliver my bouncy castles, and the subcontractor assured us that they knew the regulations and were going to do everything properly, and so they had their liability insurance, and we didn't have to buy the additional for the bouncy castle because they cost extra money. And then who should turn up at the event but an off-duty bouncy castle inspector? I mean, what?
I call bullshit. I'm sorry.
No.
Did he have a special badge?
He had his like little inspectorate thing, and it didn't say specifically bouncy castles, but it was and parks or something. And he said, "I'm not working, but I think you should know that your contractor has failed to do this, 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 and this. And if I was you, I would sort it right now because you could be open to being sued." And I said, "Well, he's here on his own liability, but I'll go and tell him." So there you have it. They do exist. There are bouncy castle inspectors. Who'd have thought it? And only I am unlucky enough to find those people.
Just you, Tom.
I must. Yeah, it must be one of those things, isn't it? It's the law of sod.
Does his identity inflate as he opens his wallet?
Well, this was the next question, isn't it? It's the logical question: is that if you don't do as he tells you, does he get bigger until you do something about him or blow away? When it's windy, I don't know. It was hard to say. So yeah, that's the random bouncy castle story for the week. Now, moving swiftly on, we've got Mike here, and he's not working. Anybody got some stuff? Tech Day is coming up. Does people have questions about Tech Day or some Tech Day frothing?
What's going on? Why am I here? What happened?
Well, you were foolish enough to invite us all to come and speculate over your latest inventions to annoy you and eat your pizza. So
it's mostly eating the pizza. Just focus on the pizza. Ignore everything else.
Done.
So if anybody has stuff they want to ask Mike, also I want to ask anybody who's going. At the moment, I have one volunteer to help run the Britnerf table.
There won't be that many people. You don't need to worry too much.
It would be nice if I didn't have to sit at a Britnerf table for 7 hours eating Mike's pizza.
You don't have to sit at the table. We'll probably end up just like sat in the middle shooting each other, looking at the
I think.
Yeah,
I'm perfectly willing to help out, but I don't think it's not going to be that much footfall. I wouldn't have thought. I think everybody's just going to be mingling and stuff anyway.
Everybody's going to know everybody. We're all going to sit down, and I'm just going to open a notebook and record everything.
Okay, so you're going to feed Drac-like off our creativity.
What do you mean your creativity? I need you to tell me I'm wrong. I need you to tell me I'm wrong because, like I said, I was curled up in bed the other night watching Netflix, looked over at my wall, saw the RS, saw the Strife up on the wall, painted and lovely, and went, "Oh." So we've kind of won this one, really. Bugger. Where do we go from here? So yeah, and also I can show you how you're all using your kit wrong. Which is my other favourite pastime.
We never would have guessed.
Yeah.
I've got a question.
Oh.
Are you ready, Buff?
I want to die. I'm fine. Everything's okay.
He's been baking circuit boards in his oven. That's how bad it is. That should tell you everything you need to know.
He's been eating them, that's the problem.
Fucking hell. Don't even start me on PCB manufacturers, okay? Just don't. I am baking them in my oven because it's quicker and more efficient than outsourcing it to professionals. Okay, I'm done.
Well, I'm extremely excited, and I've already packed half my bag. I've got quite a big list of things going on. Kev, I shall be bringing, hopefully, your dad's motorcycle part, which has taken me over a year to paint, which is a new personal best.
Yay! I thought my Stampede took forever.
No, your Stampede was fast. So yes, by the standards of Kev's dad's Triumph part, that was very, very quick.
I bet it looks lovely though.
It will do because it's got about 9 layers of glue on it. Because I got it perfect, and then some white shot out of the gun that I'd not cleaned properly and landed in the lacquer as I was doing the lacquer. And then I tried to redo it again with my brand new gun, but the nozzle wasn't quite right size for the paint, and it overshot a little bit, and it ran. And you can see runs in metallic, and you can't sand them out, which you can do in flat colours. So I had to start again.
Of course, the big problem is if the paint doesn't match, we'll have to send you the rest of the bike to do.
Yeah. Well, if you send it one bit at a time, it should take about 20 years at the current rate.
I'll send you the whole thing. You can have a go on it.
Spend more time
me and motorcycles
falling off it.
Yeah, me and motorcycles have a long and varying history of not going on each other's patch and generally not agreeing not to mess with each other. I don't try and rebuild them; they don't kill me. That's pretty much my relationship with motorbikes. Right, we got any other business? Well, we've got lots of people on here. Is there stuff people want to talk about? Because there's loads of you here.
Do we have nefarious plans for Bristol Blast?
At the tech day, you're going to call each other by your forum names or your real names?
It varies depending on what mood I'm in.
I think we should all have badges.
No, we've got name tapes. I've got name tapes. Everybody who pre-registers, everybody has a name tape.
Oh, that's quite cool because I found out at my mod party thing. It took a while to get everybody to know who everybody else was.
Okay.
So I think just like little sticky labels. Hi, my name is Kevin. And then in brackets, whatever.
Yeah, you have a custom embroidered name tape with whatever text you wanted to put on it, and most people have chosen to put their forum handles. So
fair enough. It does remind me. Can we have some name tapes or a badge done for the Battle of Britain?
Yeah, I can have a look at something done. My record with doing patches for the forum isn't exactly great, as Dusty Bin is about to inform us, because he's currently typing furiously.
I thought
I'll have a look at something.
Cool.
Kev.
Yes.
Smells.
No pressure.
Design. Battle of Britnerf 2017 logo patch design. Do the thing.
Right. Do you want me to design it?
Yes, please. And then I'll get the patches done.
Do the organisers want me to design it?
That's fine. Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh, do you want to make a little competition out of it, or do you want to?
Because it's not a 16+ event exclusively, because our insurance is shit like this. I can't obviously bring official sponsorship. I can't have my Blasphemous UK plastered everywhere. But what I can do is I can just turn up and give you all a bunch of patches as promotional material, free. So.
I'm quite happy to design a patch if everybody wants me to. That's fine.
Yeah, that'd be great.
The resounding support for that decision is definitely. Thanks, guys.
Yay!
There we go.
I'm not, Kev. I'm not even going, and I want you to do a patch, even though I won't get one.
I'm sure I can put in for people who can't make it because they're on the other side of the world.
With non-attendee at the bottom.
And also, if you've contributed to the Portaloo, the least we can do is send you a patch.
Oh, God, yeah. You are literally providing me space to take a shit. I'm sending you a patch.
I want 10 now.
Do you want...
Have 10, I don't mind.
No, are we going to have to do this shit was sponsored by FDT on the side of the loser?
Yes. Have to put a little flag in it.
No, you know what you can call them? You can call them the foam dart thunder boxes.
Awesome.
I'm considering retracting my shit sponsorship.
It's better than your girls' football team, mate.
Sorry, that was too good.
By the way, I wanted to say that looked really impressive. I forgot to say that. And as somebody who's worked with lots of young women who've been turned off by mainstream sport, it's good to see that. Well done.
Yeah, no, we just think that was good stuff.
Thank you. You know how that came about? I told you how that came about, though.
No.
For the people who don't know, there's one of the local football soccer teams, Heart of Midlothian, as usual, they all have ladies teams now. Their idea of raising money for their own club was to raffle off their sponsorship of their training kit. So their main sponsor for the main kit is the same as the main guys team, professional team. But for 20 quid, businesses could pay 20 quid into the raffle, and they must have got at least 100 businesses, local businesses, because every time they got one, they tweeted about it. And I put Foam Dart Thunder in because my mate told me about it, and Foam Dart Thunder bloody won it. So I'm going to put a picture up on the thread right now. But yeah, it's quite funny actually. There it goes. Have a little laugh at that.
Even funnier that you're
fantastic.
So if you zoom in, yeah, there you go. I'm sponsoring some girls football team now for 20 quid. 20 quid, there you go.
This is the cheapest sponsorship deal you'll ever get.
I mean, it's fantastic. Plus, it'll go in the professional men's team's programme and stuff. You know, so FTT is going to get a little bit of publicity out of this, which is the idea. So we'll see. You know, it's a bit of fun, but yeah, imagine that. My mate who told me about it is not best pleased that I won. And he didn't. It's a guy who runs the gym I go to, and he called me various names over text when I told him I'd won. I can't repeat any of them here, but one begins with C. So there you go. Yeah, bit of fun.
Yeah, well done. That was really good.
That's quite awesome.
What's BSUK going to sponsor if it can't sponsor Portaloos, Mike, and badges?
Barbecue.
It'll provide it'll provide tactical support and oversight to the Southern Fairies.
Okay, sounds good.
Yep.
And obviously, we're going to need a Southern flag. And I've already made
true.
my suggestion about the Southern flag.
Yeah, actually, that's a good point. In fact, I could put money in for the smokes for the Southern team.
Yeah, that'd be good. But we're gonna have that big pot for that. That'll be good. Yeah, and I don't think we're gonna need that many really, because you're not gonna want more than half a dozen a game.
No.
I'm sorry, what?
Well, obviously, if there's lots left and we come to the final day, we can have like a Gotten Damarung of smoke grenades. But it's, I think it's fair.
That's not a problem.
They're not very expensive to get hold of in bulk.
What was I going to say? Yeah. No, it's gone. All right. This can't be that important.
Right. Okay. So we've done games and we've done a quick roundup. We can do a quick workbench roundup. Has anybody got anything?
I was going to ask Newport Nuffer if they had any nefarious plans for Bristol Blast. I didn't get a thing. I didn't get a response. I'll put them on the spot now.
What was this?
Are you planning anything you can share with us ahead of Bristol Blast on Saturday? They made me talk about Tech Day.
I think the Saturday game is pretty much going to be us trying to nail it again. I missed the last one because I was ill. I'm ill now, and I have every intention of turning up whether I'm ill or not.
Yay! Actual zombie.
Absolutely. So I'm the intention from us as a group is to try and do what we did last time, which is the feedback we've been getting is it's one of the better events that we've run so far.
You're welcome.
So I don't think there is anything specific that I can share at the moment, but I'm sure there will be some surprises on the day. I can drop a small hint. There will be a firing squad event at some point.
Ooh. Who's getting? Oh shit! They're going to shoot me.
No, we thought about that. We got another plan for you.
Oh shit!
I vote Dusty Burn. Then man-to-man.
You got to catch him first.
I think you've also got to remember to just tell UK Fame to turn his radio on. He's being a marshal. That'd be really useful.
Yes.
Yeah. Turn on his radio. I mean, I've got my spare sort of second channel radios, so I will be able to have two radios, and both of them will be on.
And I now have the same TACnet as you guys, so when I'm there, we'll have 4 radios if required.
If I go and recover my radios off the regiment, I have about 8. I could supply my team if I could.
And if anybody is interested in picking up those Bofeng 888s, they're down to under 20 quid at the moment. They're on a bit of a deal. They're down to about £19, which is ridiculously cheap. And they've got earpieces, and they've got rechargeable batteries, and they've got the charge station. But you must program them. So add to the cost
can do
of
that free of charge.
Mike can do them if you post them to him, or there's lots of tutorials on the web, and Mike will give you the settings you need to stay legal.
Yeah. Or actually, I could bring a laptop to the event.
Yeah, the foam dart thunderbox is looking about. Do you know what it reminds me of? It's the train spotting toilets. It's the work.
Foam dart thunderbox, fantastic.
We're going to have to dive down to the bottom to find that one glow-in-the-dark dart we missed in the dart stream.
Oh, I love the fact that Audacity is just quietly recording all this in the background.
Yeah, it's just nasty.
Yeah, that's what it's going to look like by about the third hour in. They usually do.
Excuse me a second, folks. I'll be back in a moment.
Okay, so anyone got anything on the bench? Now we've managed to get a complete update. Anyone got anything exciting they're working on they want to froth about?
I just finished my ship strife, but that's it. I've not got anything else on the bench.
Anybody? I know mod swap is ongoing, and obviously people are keeping their mod swap stuff to themselves and gathering parts, and that seemed to be a very successful idea. Lots of people seem to want to do it, so that was a good plan.
I'm just wiring up the rough cut master key on my modulus with the reed switches and so on. But I just got a question actually. Do you think it's be all right for us to enter the mod swap stuff into the Masters Light?
Yeah, people could double entry. I've got no problem with that. If people have got stuff they've got, if it's not our competition, so just if you want to go and annoy Reddit with it, do it.
Nice.
Cool.
And I've got a few things on the bench. I'm going to be doing I've got to finish this bloody M7 that I've been promising somebody for about 3 months, which is Purple Candy. It's one for TDK. Purple Candy, really deep purple candy with a galaxy dip, I think, on that one. So it's like another color picture of the galaxy. It'll have that on in sections, which is extremely hard to do on a small pistol. There's not many flat spaces on that Halo M7, so that can be interesting. And what else have I got? I've been still gathering parts for things. I've got 2 primaries to make now for Battle of Britain, as I'm probably going to be able to attend unless something changes drastically. I'm just trying to think of anything else, really. There's piles of crap in my house as usual. I still haven't done an update on that SMG, so apologies if anyone's following that. There's been a little bit of progress on it, but finding the time to do it has been critical. Anyone else got anything on the bench?
Well, I'm putting together this Apollo. It's looking all right.
Oh, it's working now.
Oh, it works. Yeah. All I need to do is add a priming handle to it just to finish it off now.
No plans for a pump kit?
Not on this one. The other ones, I've got. I found some bits of metal and bits of tubing the other day that will make a homemade pump kit. Will go on my other Apollo at some point.
There was a very good design on Reddit a while ago. One of those American guys made a really, really nice pump kit with just pipe and bar, and it looks amazing.
Well, the pipe I've got is an old Hoover extension, as it happens, with 2 very nicely nesting bits of pipe that I'm going to cut to size and see if they slide over each other.
That's a good idea.
So yeah, we'll see how that goes.
Yeah, it's tricky because we've got a lot of things that don't quite work, haven't we? A lot of our piping is not as convenient as the Americans and stuff, which is really frustrating.
No, but I mean, Lewis Mr. Crane's found some very good, absolute spot-on diameter pipe for the actual internal barrel.
Well, that was actually Tom that sent me the link.
Okay, there we go. Right, thank you. That was.
Yeah, we had a discussion about aluminium tubing, and he wanted a very specific size. And I always get a cold drawn tube. Engineering tube is usually pretty good. And if is that
really
working?
good.
Yeah, I've used that stuff before for other stuff, and it is usually very good. And the inside was nice. It said it was cold drawn seamless, so the inside was really smooth. Was it when you got it?
Yeah.
Oh, ideal. And it had its sufficient windage to allow the ball to pass easily, but not too much.
Yeah, it was all right with what I tested it on.
Brilliant. Because I kind of thought it was an air gun fit with that barrel rather than a Springer fit.
Yes, well, I did test it with a drain blaster, but
how did that go?
Well, it fires 6 rival balls further than you can see in a straight line. They don't spread out. They just like go in this really nice, neat little straight line.
Now that has a use, certainly.
Yeah.
It's like when it hits the wall, it's like you just see them spurting off everywhere, but from behind it just looks like one.
Nice. So
That's
that
quite
could be the
impressive,
that could be the kind of like long range rival sniper rifle with kind of a like a shrapnel round in it. So it hits the first person and splats the others.
Yep, no, that sounds good.
You have to bring that along to BOB so we can find a good use for it.
Yeah, I think that can be worked.
Oh, I might buy my. See, the good thing about that aluminium tube is it comes in longer lengths than a lot of the common Nerfer bought crap, which is really, really handy because obviously for those bigger air volumes, you want that longer barrel. Dusty Bin's already got a plan for it. Look, punishing groups of kids. Well done.
He's a sadistic little sod, that one.
That's why we like him.
Yeah.
It's Dusty. We'll give you control of that, shall we? You can be the minion wrangler.
Dusty Bin, minion wrangler. Oh god. No, let's not do that.
Yeah, moving on.
But the Nemesis is essentially a jam cannon. If anyone's not noticed that.
Still want one.
Yeah, FDT, are you planning on trying to swag a load of Nemesises when you're in America?
I don't think he can hear you, Tom.
His mic's muted.
Oh, right, I can't see that.
I don't think he can hear
I
you.
was saying in the summer, will they be out by then?
Hello. My phone was in my pocket and I was doing the dishes and I was on mute.
Well done. Are you planning on
So-
getting a Nemesis when you go to the America? Is that your plan for Rivals to pick up lots of Nemesi?
Do you know what? Because I don't get much time to look at YouTube, today I started looking at rival stuff and I was watching Cook's reviews about stuff and I have no idea what to get, to be quite honest.
If you see the Nemesis, buy on site. It's going to be amazing.
When's it come out here?
Well, it may come out in America in the summer. It may come out in June in America. It may come out in September. Nobody really knows.
Okay. So I'm there the first 3 weeks of July.
Well, you might be jammy and find it. And it may be one of those ones that comes out in one store first. And the best
Target or something.
the best ways to watch that is to watch the froth on Reddit. And
right.
if you look out for the DCPI code, if you get hold of Random Shadow 09 on Reddit, Random Shadow is the guy for DCPI codes. And what those are, if you get those, you can go to a Target with the DCPI code and you can ask them to go and look out the item and tell you if it's in stock, because it's obviously their stock code, and then you can sell. Even if it's not out, you can say, "Well, I'm going back to Scotland tomorrow. Would I be able to have one?" And then that would get you possibly ahead of release date.
Okay. What if I can get 5?
Well, you'll make money on them because they won't be out here until a couple of months after America.
I'm not fussy about making money. I'm thinking about the guys over here who would like to get their hands on them. So, what are they? Are they
100 round hopper full auto?
They are huge.
Are they bigger than the Chaos?
Yeah.
About the same size.
Same size, but maybe slightly taller because they've got a big hopper on top. Drac has a video about one because he bought one from some kid whose dad nicked one off the factory, I think, probably.
Yeah, that's pretty
Right, I'll look at that video.
Wow.
Yeah, that sounds good. I don't really mind. I was so impressed at Leeds with them. That for me, we're going to start bringing them into FTT games now. Now that Mr. Crane didn't really ask, or they're now in FTT games.
Well, in America, Rochester, which is very similar to kind of it's probably closer to Wolfpack, Rochester FDL. It's in an indoor sports arena.
Oh, I've seen that. Yeah,
they actually have a rival league.
Yeah, I'd like to do a rivals only game, but there's not enough people up here in our community that have them. So
yeah, they're quite a big buy-in as well. They're expensive to buy, and at the moment the killer apps aren't out yet. The Artemis is going to be really nice.
The Artemis is very nice. I have one.
Yeah, and I looked at Mike's, and that's basically a 30-shot EAT for. And if you put a stock block on it, it's even better. But Mike's sorting that out. So the Artemis, imagine an Apollo, but with 30 rounds in it in a revolving mag, and you can top it off really easily on the fly, which is a key thing.
That's the bonus, yeah.
That
sounds good.
And then obviously the Nemesis doesn't have mags. The Chaos is great, but has mags, and the Chaos mags.
They're horrible, aren't they?
Yeah, they're going to release them separately. They're going to be about £15. So those might be worth a buy in America if you're thinking of things.
What I'll do is before I go, I'll put a little thread up and see what's out already, and then if I can help anybody out, I will. Obviously, my kids are going to want some rival stuff now, but yeah, if I can bring the odd bit back for someone, then I will. Not Rab.
Mr. Crane, that looks very nice. Is that a bit of Dynoc on there on the pump grip?
It's vinyl sheet stick-on stuff.
Yeah, Dynoc 3M carbon wrap. Yeah, it's very good. That stuff. I use it a lot. It's easy to use, isn't it?
One of the kids at Wolfpack had put a big spring in his long shot and couldn't really prime it, so I promised him I'd make him a PVC pump grip, considering it's about $1.99 of PVC there.
You have to watch the side. They have to watch the side pieces for bowing.
Yeah, it seems all right.
Your D shaping is going to help with that. Yeah, that D shape will help a little bit because it will be bowing against the curve. That's quite a smart idea to halve the tubing like that. That's sneaky. TBR, what are you going to have mounted? What's your next ridiculous project with the Raspberry Pi?
He just does overkill. It's fantastic. The projects he's using, you just use an Arduino. Just use an AT Mega 328. But no, it has to go for a full ARM 32-bit processor. Because why not?
Because he can.
You don't need that battery to last very long at all.
Yeah, exactly. Hi, Welsh Mullet.
Evening.
Welsh Mullet, while you're here and everyone's here, any update on your plans for your Busby stuff? Because I'm sure everyone's keen to get hold of them.
It's been moving a bit slow at the moment. I've had some personal stuff to deal with, unfortunately. But I'm getting to it.
Good.
Best as I can.
Well done. And I think it's a good niche market for the community. I know there's a lot of people that are really keen to buy them for some reason. And
lots of people are keen for the blasters that aren't out yet and that I can't get a hold of.
Yeah, I think that's always the issue, isn't it? That's just a general problem, isn't it? That's
how demand is created, surely.
Yeah, exactly. And
demand
obviously,
is created by scarcity.
Yeah.
And actually, if you think about it, it'll work quite well because you'll sell your first batch, and then they'll have some capital to play with to invest in the second batch, which will then contain all the new things, and you would have hooked.
Yeah, hopefully, the new things should be about July. That's if they get past UK standards.
All the Springers should be fine because America is adopting a new law from April that is worse than ours and is nearly as bad. It's so funny. All these years where they've had, full fat orange trigger, baby, and they're now going down to a 1 joule limit for everything, and it's 1 joule total, not 1 joule KE. So
nice.
Yeah, and I think they worked out that most of it is going to mean that they are as bad as grey trigger from now on.
Is that like a national law or?
Yeah, federal toy standards. You know that they do those ones where they have like kind of a bit like the EU, where there'll be like one overarching regulatory standard for things like that. They're doing a federal one for the regulatory standard. They're reviewing the federal toy laws and they're trying to bring them more in line with the rest of the world. I think probably to help American manufacturers sell abroad as much as anything else.
Yeah,
do you know what I mean? American
design,
so that there's one market for everybody.
It's going to make America great again.
Yeah, but it's going to make their blasters sucky funny. So I think you might well be onto the benefits of that because Busby will have known about this because they would have been made aware of it.
Yeah.
I'm sure toy companies have had an input in it. The same with the EU.
Did you say 1 joule total?
Or something like that. I read the post and then I ignored it because it didn't apply to us.
So no more missile launching blasters ever?
It will cause problems for the XBZ, which will chronically curtail the Australian HPA fest because they're all using XBZ tanks bought from Bob in California, who basically makes a living now out of dismantling XBZs and shipping them to Australia. He's got 700 XBZ missiles in a box in his apartment.
Nice.
Yeah.
Just in case you ever need that many.
Yeah, he was trying to come up with something to fire them the other day. He said I could have like a massive chain-fed HBZ missile launcher if I could possibly feed it, because I've got this many missiles. So yeah, that'll hopefully play to your strengths. Right, I am going to have to disappear because I have adulting things to do.
Sucks to be you.
Yeah, well, that's the nature of life, isn't it? So thank you all very much for putting up with us, and I will leave you in Mike's capable hands. So have fun for the rest of the evening.
See you.
Yeah, delegating to you now, big boy. Bye-bye.
Right.
Kev's here. He can do it.
Not that it's a coincidence.
No, I don't handle responsibility well.
No, I know you don't handle responsibility. You have children. That's what terrifies me.
No, that's right. The one's nearly 6. He can handle himself now.
That's impressive. Right, do we have any other business that people want to raise and or bring up? Because I noticed there are people scubbing off, and that's fine by me, because my disk space is starting to fill up with Audacity in the background.
No, I'm good.
Okay.
Good chat.
Anyone else?
Does anyone want to hear something really controversial?
You're going to tell us
Do you wanna
anyway.
do it now?
Yes.
I'm currently sat down on my floor sanding a strive.
Well done. Good for you. Welcome to the Flywheel
Very,
Master
very,
Race.
very controversial. I thought you were going to say something like Pluto is a planet.
Pluto is a planet. Pineapple doesn't go on pizza. You're all wrong. Anyway, carry on.
Moving on.
So, you're joining the Flywheel Master Race then?
Well, you know, Boff, I've probably pissed off Mike trying to figure out how to work with with bloody voucher codes to get free postage.
Yeah.
So I've got a MOSFET loom in the post, and I've just stolen rhinos from my demolisher that I built a year ago.
Cool.
Fair enough. I like how demolishers are a thing. No one uses them, they just sort of exist. Apart from Dusty. Just that one person. So we have another convert to the Flywheel Master Race, that's good.
An interesting bit of thriftiness for everybody. I was recently building another MOS. I've basically converted to MOSFETs now. I'm quite happy about that.
Welcome to the party.
And yeah, I know it takes this old man a long time to do anything.
That is true, you are.
But yeah, I lost a rectifier diode. I couldn't find it anywhere, and I thought I could go down to Maplin and get another one. We charged loads of money for it, or I could salvage one out of the wife's radio.
How did that go down?
She doesn't know yet. Well, I think she might have just heard me say that.
In fairness, there are worse things that you could have salvaged it out of.
Yeah, it's like, who listens to the radio anymore?
Exactly. So yes, that's interesting. Okay, yeah, all right. So yeah, there you go. Put Maplin out of business. Salvage rectifier diodes from.
Yeah, go and rummage around in your local dump for nerf and other modification parts.
Get a couple of FETs while you're there. Yeah, no, it's all fine. Fair enough. Well, I'll bear that in mind. Right.
Cool. Right, let's call it quits.
Yeah, I think we should. Right, so good to speak to you all. I will clean this up and get it on YouTube somewhere. I have no idea where I'm going to put it. But, good chat.
Awesome.
Thanks very much.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys.
See you.
See you.
Good night.
Cheers, guys.
Tutty buys.